Hi guys, it's Asia. Yesterday I watched a few sample IELTS speaking exams and was really surprised at how sophisticated and formal some of the students sounded, even though their score was like 7.5. And I don't want you to think that you have to be very smart during your exam. I actually speak much more plainly and don't use any complex ideas and achieve 8.5. So today I want to show you my candid answers. But I don't have an exam at hand, so I'm just going to use a book to ask myself questions. I'm going to use parts 2 and 3. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this book is Cambridge IELTS Academic number 14, but IELTS speaking exam is the same in both IELTS Academic and General Training, so it doesn't matter. Let me find some speaking section. Okay, that is test number 3, and now I have to manage a timer, so 1 minute to read my second task. Describe a very difficult task that you succeeded in doing as part of your work or studies. You should say what task you did, why this task was very difficult, and how you worked on this task, and explain how you felt when you had successfully completed this task. Okay. Well, my minute is almost up. 5 seconds left. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And now I'm setting 2 minutes. And today I would like to tell you about my idea of filming videos for my business. I first had this idea several years ago, and I wanted to start a YouTube channel where I would tell people about how to prepare for their IELTS exam. And actually, as a keen photographer myself, I could use a camera comfortably, and I didn't anticipate any serious problems with making videos. But I was so wrong. And the first few videos was really embarrassing, both from the technical side and from my performance in the videos. First of all, I discovered that using a camera to film videos is absolutely not the same as taking still photos. And even though I had quite a good DSLR camera, not a professional one, but not a very simple one either, I thought that that camera was capable of doing everything I needed, but actually I had to upgrade to a newer camera that would have more settings to control how the video looks like. That was the first thing. And of course, I had to learn about all the video settings, which differ quite significantly from photo settings, even though you use the same buttons, but you somehow use them in a slightly different way. And in terms of my performance, I was really shocked at how shy and embarrassed I looked on those videos, and how much I paused and hesitated. And that was some... Okay, apparently that was 2 minutes. Dismissed. And probably you've noticed that I haven't covered my bullet points. If you look here. So I needed to explain what task I did. So I did that. And why this task was very difficult. Yeah, so I was explaining that in a lot of details. And how you worked on this task. I didn't really tell you about how I filmed videos, right? and explain how you felt when you had completed the task. No, I didn't get to that point, but that is all right, because in IELTS speaking, you don't need to cover each bullet point. Those points are there to guide you, to give you some ideas of what you should talk about, but you don't have to cover them one by one, and you should actually concentrate on telling a story, because it's easier to talk for 2 minutes if you are concentrating on your story rather than answering those bullet points. Otherwise, you can finish very, very quickly. Anyway, so part 3. It should last not more than 5 minutes, between 4 and 5 minutes, and usually examiners would ask you questions, and they would adapt questions slightly based on what you said before, but I just have to read some from the book. And questions in part 3 are somehow related to questions in part 2, but sometimes it's quite difficult to get how. Okay, let's start. Okay, part 3, and we are going to discuss difficult jobs. And the first question is, what are the most difficult jobs that people do? Well, it depends. I think it depends on how you look and how you define a difficult job. So some jobs are dangerous. For example, being a policeman or being a fireman, those people put their life at risk. Some jobs are just physically challenging, such as mining. And other jobs are intellectually challenging, such as being a scientist. So I think that many different jobs can be considered difficult, but from different points of view. The next question is, why do you think some people choose to do difficult jobs? Some people choose jobs because they are better paid. If a job is dangerous or if it's challenging, then the pay, the salary will be higher than in a simpler job. And I think that is definitely an appeal for some people. But others just look for a rewarding career or something that would be satisfying in the long run, and those difficult jobs may give that. Do you agree or disagree that all jobs are difficult sometimes? Oh, absolutely. I think we get used to a certain level of activity, and then when it suddenly jumps up or something happens, we perceive that this job is difficult. And perhaps for other people, it wouldn't be so because that's the normal way, the normal day for them. So I think it all depends. Okay, now let's talk about your personal and career success. And the first question is, how important is it for everyone to have a goal in their personal life? Well, I think that goals motivate you to move forward and to actually achieve something. Because when we do something for a long time, we eventually get tired, and if we don't have a clear goal, we may actually just drop it. When it's tiring, when it's boring, when it's difficult. But if you really desire something, that it will keep you going. Is it always necessary to work hard in order to achieve career success? In short, I would say yes. Of course, we hear those stories about some overnight success, but I think what we don't hear even in those stories is that someone worked hard for 10 years without any recognition and then did something, for example, wrote a song, and that song suddenly became a a #1 song and that person became famous. But it doesn't mean that they didn't work hard. It just means that we didn't see their hard work before. Do you think that successful people are always happy people? Unfortunately, I think that the relation between success and happiness is quite indirect. On the one hand, if we want something, for example, a successful career, and we achieve it, so we become successful, then we do get satisfaction from that, and it gives a certain sense of happiness. However, there are other aspects of our lives, such as health or our relationship with our family and our loved ones, which are ultimately more important. And someone may be very, very successful in their professional life, but feel absolutely miserable because of something else in their private life. And also, I think people always need this. Okay, 5 minutes, so that's enough. Dismiss. Okay, so these were my answers, and you've probably noticed that sometimes I didn't quite finish my thoughts because I didn't really know what else to say. But that's all right. It happened during real exams as well, and according to my score, I wasn't really penalized for that. Those answers are not perfect because we don't really talk perfectly. And that is fine, and IELTS examiners understand that. And I think during your exam, you should just let yourself speak. Be friendly, be chatty. Don't try to control what you want to say too much, because otherwise you kill any ideas. Just trust yourself and speak. Don't care about your mistakes. If you're not fluent in English, you will make some, but that's all right. And it will inspire you to practice your speaking and will help you to perform better at your exam. So thank you very much and good luck. All the best. Bye.